Hey friend, welcome back to Everyday Energy. I'm so happy you're here today. We're going to be doing some planking, so make sure you warm up your wrists. We won't be moving too fast, but we will be getting down and dirty and spicy with it, and we'll be on the floor. So pad yourself up and I'll see you there. Start with some space in front of you. We're going to stand, reach up tall, and we're going to sit down to a deep squat. We're going into our inchworm here. Don't get scared. Did you hear my ankles crack? We're going to walk it out to a plank. We're going to take this slow-mo, okay? Finding our squat, reaching our hands down towards the ground. Keep your knees as soft as you like. Let's take some nice slow steps out to a plank. You might feel your hips swaying side to side. I know I did. Let's find our solid plank. Legs can go nice and wide. Heels are pushing back. Knees and elbows are soft, pushing the ground away. Amazing. Let's back it up. Start to walk those hands back. Hips back up into a narrow parking space. We find our deep squat. Maybe heels touch down, maybe they don't, but they're going towards the floor. And we're going to stand up with power, reach all the way up. Imagine this is your plank again. Reaching tall, big morning stretch, and let's go back down into the squat. Let's walk it out. Take your time. Stay patient with it. This is not a race. We're spending a bit more time in plank, a bit more time on our hands. Whew. They'll have probably a little less of a cardio element than we normally do with these inchworms when we take them rapidly to warm up. I want you to just move through this like we're moving underwater, like at every step of the way here. There was something cool for us to find. What can we find in plank? What can we find when we're walking back to bring our weight back to our feet? What can we find when we're standing up and growing, planting our roots? What can we find when we're softening, bringing it back down to the floor? Ooh, look at that. So much to explore. Let's back it up. Ooh, growing tall. Wherever you are, if your tempo is different than mine, that's cool. We're gonna all meet in a plank. So join me there, walk your way out. I'll hold it until you get there. If you got here early, maybe you can hold it with me. And I'll give you a chance to meet me here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Softly knees down. Sitting it back. That was a little spicier than we normally start. Maybe if you'd like to wiggle out your wrists, now's a good time to do that. We're coming back to tabletop, but not to a plank that we have to hold. Let's bring it up, and I'm gonna take a big step forward with my right foot. We're gonna slide forward into this lunge and back towards our heel. Forward, squeezing the glutes, opening up the hips. Backwards, stretching that front leg, tiny micro bend in the knee, pulling the toes back, stretching the hamstring. Got all that? Ooh, you can choose your own tempo. I just want to make sure you knew where we were going. Maybe you choose to move through this really slow and easy. Maybe you choose to zoom a little bit, grease up the joint, see how it's going. While we're here, I want you to think about your plank. Now, Laura, what does that mean? Think about my plank. We're not planking. I want you to think about the relationship between your shoulders, your hips, and everything in between. Right? So there's a lot going on in there in our trunk, but I don't want you to let the spine wiggle and flex and bend. I want you to think about the whole trunk moving as one unit. Neutral is going to look very different on everybody. It's kind of why I avoid neutral. It's like, what does that mean? You know, as a cue, what does neutral mean? How am I making myself neutral? But what you can think about is maintaining the relationship between your shoulders, your ribs, your belly, your hips as we move through space. So that's not where the movement's coming from. It's kind of just along for the ride, and it's not getting in our way. And that's usually what we actually mean by neutral. Yeah, at least in trainer speak. All right, bring it back, kind of up to your tabletop. I'm gonna sweep this leg to the side. Now you might bring a pillow under your knee. You could even bring this knee down if this is too much. It can be a lot of pressure down, but we're gonna rock here forward and back, kind of similar to what we were just doing. Forward and back, thinking about your front pockets traveling together with that plank in neutral as we sit into this. Ooh, you might feel some feedback from the inner thigh of that extended leg. Anytime we're here and you need a break for your wrists, just pause me, sit it up, swirl out your wrists. Or you can take this up onto your fists. Oh, just a little break from that wrist flexion. Keep that extended knee nice and soft. No stress here. You might be getting a lot of sensation from this today, or you might be getting just a little or none at all. It's still worth doing, yeah? I love focusing on the feeling, especially instead of just focusing on the way it looks. I love focusing on mind-muscle connection, but our muscles are still working when we're moving, whether we're feeling them or not, yeah? So don't get too caught up on that. Don't get too caught up on anything. It's just, as my friend Lauren Lavelle says, it's just simply not that deep, yeah? Excellent, my friends. When you're ready, we can let this go. Maybe you shake out that leg a little bit. We're gonna go back to tabletop and into the sliding lunge on the other side. I turned my ring around and I just raked it through my hair. Here we go. Big step forward on the left. We slide forward and back. Ooh, this side feels very different for me. That's okay. I'm gonna take a little note of that. Maybe next time I'll start on this side. Give it a little love and then match it with the side that feels a little friendlier. It's not an emergency. It's just information. I almost didn't say it because I say that so much, but I know y'all like that one. It's not an emergency. It's just information. And information is neutral. And the only thing it's good for is what we do with it. And you're already here. You're already moving. You're already making note of it. So what else could you possibly be doing? There's no need to panic. Nice, my friends. Mindful of your plank. See if you can stretch a little taller out of this, crown to tail. And when you're ready, we'll swipe that leg to the side. And let's rock forward and sit back. Rocking forward, sitting back. You could have a smaller range of motion here. You could have a larger range of motion here. Maybe you like adding a little wiggle or a twist. You are the boss of your body, not me. So anything I tell you is just a suggestion to explore. And I know that's frustrating because as an adult, it's like, please, somebody just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. But I'm just one person doing these moves just like you are, just like every other person who watches this video now or later. So something I say isn't working for you, you're right, yeah? Ooh, see if you can soften knees and elbows here. See if you can come back to the deep breaths. Nice. Let's be done in about 3, 2, 1, and let it go, shake it out. Back to tabletop one last time, but a break for our wrists. Let's go wider in the knees. I'm going to plant my left hand. I'm going to reach up and back with my right hand. I'm going to take that hand. I'm going to thread the needle, bringing the back of my right shoulder down towards the ground, maybe walking my left hand out so I can gently push myself back onto my right shoulder. Good. If you're comfy here, stay. Breathe, relax. If you're uncomfy here, check me out. You can totally do this seated, reaching across the body with your right arm, adding a little brace with the left hand. You could also take this from the wall. Bring the back of your right shoulder to the wall, reach out through that hand, and then twist away. Go tenderly, especially if you've only done the floor version, because you never know how your body's gonna respond, especially necks and arms and shoulders are funky. But wherever you are, we inhale to fill ourselves up. We exhale to soften. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, soften. One more deep round of breath. And on your next exhale, let's gently push it up and we're gonna switch sides. That's it. Plant your right hand, reach back through your left hand, and thread the needle. This one always makes me feel really creaky when I'm trying to get it done, and then really, really good once it's over. Reaching back through your tailbone, like you're trying to show your butthole to the wall. Reaching out through your fingertips. If you don't like the seated or the standing up versions, you could also take this kind of just up a little bit. Just move towards that position, yeah? Ooh. Especially if you have difficulty putting your arms into this position, or maybe you're more gifted with bosoms than I am. It happens, yeah? Not every position is gonna work for everybody. Deep breaths wherever you are. Whatever shape you are in, whatever space you're taking up, fill it completely. Making yourself bigger, wider, fuller on your inhale. Exhale, soften and melt. One more deep breath down into your back pockets. And on your exhale, let's gently push it up. Tuck your toes. We're coming back to a deep squat like the bottom of our inchworm, yeah? I'll give you a second to meet me there if you want to hold on to something. If you can, drop your heels. If not, maybe you keep holding on wherever you are. Let's sit up a little taller in the spine. Ooh, stretching out crown to tail. And now we're gonna go hips up, head down, let your spine curve. All right, you ready to roll it up? Don't race me. Take your time. Be very selfish with your time. Here we go. Tailbone down first, and we start to stack it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Thanks so much for being here with me today. That one felt particularly energizing. That might be my favorite one we've done so far. So I hope you felt kind of the same way. I love you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.